church family. I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend and a great time remembering those who have gone before us, as well as those who gave it all in their service to our country. This past Sunday, I don't know if you had a chance to hear Superintendent Mike speak, but he delivered a great message. It was on being delivered from distress. He is our new superintendent of the PCJC, which means that he is Pastor Nathan's boss. And if you heard Bishop Kenny speak, Bishop Kenny is Superintendent Mike's boss. So that's how the structure works. I strongly encourage you to listen to the message on the recording of our live stream if you haven't done so already. Superintendent Mike spoke on the difference between being broken and being wounded, and he said that being wounded is focusing on the hurt and the bad feelings and letting those things continue to fester. He called them the walking wounded. However, being broken, he likened it to like the training of a horse or the conditioning of a character. Being broken, trust that God is bigger than the problem and bigger than our feelings and bigger than the things that had happened. And it trusts that as we surrender these pains and these hurts and these things that have wounded us, it enables God to build Christ-like character within us. And so I just wanted to share a passage with you. As a kid growing up in the 80s, I don't know if any of you are familiar with 80s shows, but I had this fear of quicksand. How many of you thought that quicksand was lurking around every corner and that you were going to get stuck in it? Well, this passage kind of reminds me of God's faithfulness, even in the times when we are feeling like we are being sucked into quicksand. And one of my favorite Psalms, it's Psalm 40 and the verses 1 through 4. I'm going to read that for you. And says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, who does not look to the proud and to those who turn aside to false gods. At a time in my life when all hope was gone and I felt in total distress, the psalm gave me a vision of actually reaching out of that thick clay mud and that quicksand that was sucking me in, and reaching out for God's hand and allowing myself to be pulled up from that despair and that place of hopelessness and put into a place of new hope and newness, of security. And there's great hope for those who put their trust in God. So I hope that this encourages you to whatever your situation is, whether or not it's in the past and you've dealt with it, or whether or not it's something that continues to trip you up, that you would choose to extend your hand, because the Lord is waiting for you to do that so he can pull you out and put you on firm ground. So I just want to encourage you. Also, I'm super excited to announce that Superintendent Mike will be actually featured as our speaker at our very, very, very first ever Venice Church Family Camp, which is going to happen over the Veterans Day weekend. So that's Friday, November 8th through Monday, November 11th, and it will be at Forest Home in Forest Falls, California. So I want you to save that date. More information will be coming, but we're really excited to have him come back and join our church family and speak to us then. So until then if you need to get in touch with him, I'm sure he's glad to reach out to our church office, and they will give you information on how you can reach out to him. Well, God bless. Have a blessed week. I hope that you're able to look for God moments in your life, and that you're able to see his goodness, and that as you trust in him, that you will find a new song and a new hymn on your lips. We'll see you soon.